Welcome to Two Hearts Dance and Yoga Heart to Heart video series. My name is Leanne Barber, owner and movement creator at Two Hearts Dance and Yoga. It's my goal to bring you some light and positivity and share with you some amazing individuals who are inspiring me through everything. It is my pleasure to introduce you all to my cousin, my blood, JM Holland, who I have watched grow up as a young, successful man. He has always been this crazy kid running around doing martial arts since I can remember. And he's literally his own life for himself, while jiu-jitsu is his business. JM owns 10th Planet Jiu Jitsu in Bethlehem, PA. He's been training and has focused on specific mixed martial arts. JM is a 10th Planet Jiu Jitsu Black Belt, Bravo. He's got a long list of accomplishments. Take me a long time to say, but he continues to compete at a very high level, coaching his students who continue to bring him more attention and credit in the game. Others start their own gyms with his own words on podcasts and on his own channels. He's building his gym and continues to build a community around jiu-jitsu passion. I'm so proud of my cousin today, and I'm happy to have JM Holland with us.
Thank you, Leanne. That was really nice. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's my honor. I'm just so proud of you, and I'm happy to have you here. Get into things. How has it been going for you?
When we had to close our school, I pretty much had a big school to myself. I had a school for 200 people to myself, so I kind of was just patient and just kept myself in shape. Just kept myself sharp. But my body sharp. Just because you can't do jiu-jitsu doesn't mean you let your body fall apart for 3-4 months. So staying active, just doing normal stuff.
Absolutely.
Worried at first about even just what the hell was going to happen to everything. It was definitely kind of scary for a second, but we're like really strong. So like a lot of my students didn't even take their payments off, like stuff like that. But just, and I got the kid on the way too. So that, it's not just, if it was me, I wouldn't care at all. But I got my woman to take care of, and I got the baby coming. So it was kind of crazy. So I was just working with people anyway, like if you were willing to pay me to work out, like I was going to work out with you. So, I made up 2 months rent in a couple weeks, so the support was huge. And it's not like, our business is kind of different because it's not like I'm working with like food or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's a little easier to kind of just go about your business, kind of not bother anybody, and you'll be fine.
That's awesome. It's great that you continue to stay connected with your students. And of course, I'm so happy for you guys having a baby on the way and just thinking about kind of leaving that legacy for your family. It's a beautiful thing.
You know what I mean? Let's go. I'm trying to get to work,
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit, how did you discover your love for jiu-jitsu?
I trained a bunch of different, I love boxing a lot. I love wrestling. I've had my little stints in all these martial arts, but it's definitely something special about jiu-jitsu and like the community. It's just, I knew out of all the martial arts, jiu-jitsu would be one where I could run a school like that and it would be successful, and like what it does to people, it's the culture of it. And it's just, if you look into that and just kind of look what people have to say about jiu-jitsu, like I'm not the best guy to convince you about jiu-jitsu, but I just train you. I just teach people how to do it. But I've been like jiu-jitsu lifestyle or jiu-jitsu culture like that. There's so many cool videos and like high level like leaders in that community that are just, that I'd like to emulate and like kind of look at them for what they're doing or
starting, from a young age, how has it just transitioned through your life?
Keeps me in touch with like reality. Like if I'm slacking or I'm not really addressing a certain area, that usually comes up, you know what I mean? And it's just like it's just trying to get high level at anything. You're going to find you're going to have to like encounter reality more often than someone that's just kind of avoiding it every day, So jiu-jitsu is like, when we train, we start in like bad positions that like, you know, you're starting with a guy on your back and he's trying to choke you and you have to like escape or, you know, and it's like every day you know, sometimes you don't want to do it, but you know, there's tons of stuff you learn. Like you learn a lot about people because like there's all these different styles of people and like, you know, you try to teach this person this way and that doesn't work for this person. And that it can actually like do bad to that person. Not only it won't work, it'll do negative. Like, so everyone's different. So like you learn about people and like kind of you learn about yourself and like, you know, why do I do this in this situation or, you know, martial arts fight related. So it's kind of like a little more macho. So I'm kind of into that too, you know?
Awesome. Yep. One thing I admire about you, and I'm sure your students do also, is that you continue to try and fight yourself. What makes you continue to get up and fight?
Well, I get cool opportunities. Like, I have a lot of students. I have like 2 students that are really high level right now. Like, uh, Grace Gundrum. She's like this little Asian girl that chokes everyone. She's not little anymore. She's 18. Um, and then John Blank is like number 4 in the world. And then like in that time, we've been, you know, going to all the shows and competing and just cutting our teeth. And now a lot of those guys I compete against are my friends and stuff, you know, like a lot of those guys I went and tested myself against, win or lose, you know, they respect me for whatever, you know, and will ask me to compete on their promotion or something. I'll go down to Florida and teach a seminar and compete and, you know, and so it's kind of cool. Like, it's not like I'm traveling and like getting, you know, just partying and stuff. Like I actually have work, you know, so that's cool.
Yeah. Like,
And I enjoy it. I don't enjoy like, I don't want to be like number 1 in the world, but I'm starting to realize like I'm good enough to just ice a lot of guys, you know, like I didn't want that, but you spend 7-8 years every day. Like even when I'm, you know, like it's just, you do it at, you know, I'm getting good enough. When you dedicate your life to something, you should get that level. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm doing my best, you know, as far as like I'm already like, me and Zach have our feet in so many different doors. Like, you know, you can't just be like, oh, well, he's just a competitor. A lot of guys are just competitors. You know, they live at their mom's house and they're competing. Like, that's different than what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So, I compete just to keep myself. One, you got to keep yourself humble and you got to keep yourself, you know, in check, and you got to test yourself because I want to know what I'm working on is, you know, I know it works, but I want to be able to do it. Like knowing and doing are 2 different things, you know?
yeah, and it's kind of like you're practicing what you preach. Like you're telling all of your kids all of these things to do, you know, in the gym, but to actually see you out there doing it yourself and putting yourself up against others, it's very admirable. So I love that about you.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course. So what kind of led you to starting 10th Planet? And tell us a little bit more about 10th.
Um, well, they were like, jujitsu is like, you know, been around a while. But 10th Planet's kind of only maybe like 12 or 10 years old. And, you know, that's what really started getting me into jujitsu in the first place, because I was fighting MMA. And Eddie was, you know, pushing jujitsu that works in MMA fights. So that's where I kind of was always attracted to that style, you know, because when I was at Tiger Schulman's, it was the same kind of thing. Like, we weren't doing jiu-jitsu to win points tournaments. We were doing jiu-jitsu to win an MMA fight. So the tactics and the moves and the set of moves you use are totally different in the strategies. So, and even within jiu-jitsu, every tournament has its own rule set that it's like a whole game. You know, it's not even really about a fight. It's like these little games you have to play, which like I never like really muddied the waters of martial arts with sport. You know, to me, that's, you know, like I just feel like, you know, I was never a big sports guy. You know, like I did martial arts because I wasn't good at sports. Like I wasn't athletic as a kid. So, you know, it's not like I'm just some beast athlete that was like, I'm going to kick guys' asses, you know, like that took a while. But, sorry, I swore. But, that was a rated G one. But, yeah, 10th Planet like was more like MMA based and what I was just personally what I enjoy about jiu-jitsu. It's about, and our school was more about like finishing submissions. And 10th Planet was really heavy into that. So, we would fly out, and try to go to Eddie's seminars and compete. And so Eddie would see us, you know what I mean? Cause he's, we wanted him to see us like what we could do because we weren't really ranked in jiu-jitsu officially. So it'd be hard to open a jiu-jitsu school and be like, I'm jiu-jitsu. Like, who gave you your black belt? You need that in jiu-jitsu. That's really important. So, Eddie is like, Eddie's a legend. If you know him, like he's on Joe Rogan and stuff. And, he's a dude, he's the man. Like a lot of what I'm doing right now is because of him. Like, he gives me confidence to kind of, make moves and just believe in myself. Like, it's crazy. He won't even, he's the type of dude, man, like you're just around him and he doesn't think he's better than anybody or any of that. He's just like, he's just really cool. And like, he just sees the best in people. He like brings out the best, like, you know what I mean? So he like recognizes your stuff, which is really cool. Like, I want to have that eventually. I'm not even paying attention half the time. You know what I mean? This guy's like really, he does great work. So I'm really proud of Eddie and 10th Planet. And like, me and Zach work really hard to push that. I think there was no 10th Planets on the East Coast. There was 0 10th Planets, and I'm not in like a big city or anything like that, but our school is like top notch. Like our guy went and competed this last weekend in Texas on this show. And the commentators were like, Renee is from a 10th Planet in Pennsylvania, I guess. And they're like one of the best 10th Planets. And I'm like, that guy's just a rando. And he knew that. So that's cool, man. Like, it's just been consistent hard work and just going out and showing our work to everybody. Yeah. And people see, they might not always talk about you, but they see,
Yeah, that's awesome. You're making a name for yourself. You've kind of created this big splash where you are, and it's awesome to see, all of that work really coming into it. So, as you're continuing to be a business owner and working on like, the business aspect of things, tell us some of the kind of early challenges that you faced opening the school and some of the challenges that you still continue to face present day.
When we first opened, it was definitely just money. Like that was just, it was just getting, getting money to get things going. But I think we started with $1,000. I traded in some bonds that my grandfather gave me, and I think it was like $1,200. They gave me like 900. And, we worked out a deal with a gym that was already in existence that was hurting, that had mat space. And we were like, dude, we're the man. Like, let us use these mats. So, and then we worked out this deal with him where he would take, I think we charged like $110 for jiu-jitsu, like 4 days a week. And we would give them 30. They would sign up for a gym membership. So they would lift weights there, and then they would give us 80. And then we started like that. And then eventually it only took us like 6-7 months to start thinking about getting into our own space. Cause people try to tell you what to do, and there's like little games. It's like, dude, I'm not playing this. I'm too good at what I do to be listening to someone else. And I knew that. Me and Zach was 30 and I was like 23 when we started. So we knew that back then. So we worked really hard on, business plan. Like we went to Lehigh University and they helped us with our business plan. We did a lot of, we stayed like real lean. You know what I mean? Like we didn't buy stuff we didn't need to look cool. Like we were sleeping in the place for a while. Like, I'm just now having things. Like I'm just now starting to have, I've been a black belt for like a year. I'm just starting to have like a set stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, you just gotta be willing to kind of push through the first 5 years or so. Cause like, you're not ready when you open. When you open, you're not good enough. But you took that shot. Now you just gotta stay in. You just gotta stay open, and you'll figure it out. People just, people want to ask questions and they want to know stuff, but by doing. So it was tough at first, and nowadays, I mean, me and Zach are kind of just scheming on, more ways to just kind of expand what we got going. Like we could do coffee shops. We're looking into maybe with this going on, how many places went out of business? Who knows if we move our school and get a better location at a, something, who knows? So, and you meet a lot of people that that are students of yours that also own businesses that teach you stuff. And, they have ins. Like when all this went down, we got one of those PPP loans. So that was like, I was shocked. I'm like, wow, the government knows about us. That's crazy. But that was only because we have a friend that runs a business, like a cryotherapy place. And he put us in line with this. It's all about, who that's what that is, because me by myself, I would have never gotten that. Like somehow I had a friend, so, but really the struggle is just kind of, nowadays is just kind of keeping the quality good, making, like the classes, like the quality of my students, I want that high, because that's first thing, first things first. Like, and then we'll work on like getting more amenities and like nice things. But our place is just like about really training hard and just bare bones kind of essentials. But I think as time goes on, like it'll, you just got to figure out how to grow your business, right? It just takes kind of courage. You got to spend money, it's kind of scary sometimes. You're like, dude, we got all this money. Like, what are we going to do with it? Money is just a means, it's not really like anything. Nothing's changed. I'm doing the same stuff I was 5-6 years ago. Maybe I'm eating a little better, but short of that, it's same things.
Awesome. And you kind of answered this question in just talking through your last question, but what would you say to someone who's thinking about opening their own or is kind of on the path to doing that?
Just, have a plan, know what you're doing. And you're gonna have to love it, because you're if that's gonna be a hobbyist I don't think will make it. Like a hobbyist is competing with guys like me. I'm working too hard to, maybe you have like a little club or something, but if you want to grow that into something that, feeds families and like employs people, that's going to take everything you have probably. So, and then some. That's going to take friends. Like you're going to need friends putting your heads together on stuff. I don't think of most of this stuff. But just, know what you're getting into. Don't spend crazy money. You don't need a ton of money. Like I said, I started $1,000, and believe in yourself, be willing to put the work in, and everything will turn out all right.
Awesome. Good words of advice. So would you consider jiu-jitsu a release for you? Is it an outlet for you? And how has it helped you mentally in everyday situations?
Oh man, it's like you learn jiu-jitsu, but when you learn jiu-jitsu, you also learn like mental jiu-jitsu. It's like you can spar, like it teaches you like, sometimes not to, overreact, or, like just people make mistakes in, how they talk to people or how they try to, who knows, and you can like kind of learn to like kind of counter punch or like kind of set traps and, come out victorious just in your brain, like in situations like that, Jiu-jitsu is definitely like, because it's your body, right? You can go 100% and most days and not have any serious injuries or something against a resisting partner. So it's like it's a special art form, because if you're kickboxing or boxing and you go 100%, you might do that 1 or 2 days a week if you're, real sparring. But in jiu-jitsu, you can spar every day. So it's really fun. And, you get the mental, you're getting it's a mind game, but it's also like a physical at the same time. So it's like, it's just it just hits all these things that most people have to do multiple things to get what jiu-jitsu offers in just one, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely like, I do yoga for my jiu-jitsu. Like that's awesome. Like for my breath and just for my, like, just to empty up here, and relax, and strength for your like muscles and stuff is huge. But what you're good at and what you do, like you bring to jiu-jitsu and you can kind of use that you know? So if like you're flexible, you can be a flexible guy. If you're a strong bulldog looking dude, you can kind of be like that, you know? But yeah, I mean, dude, we do like breathing after classes a lot. It helps with just, you know, and it gets your mind off bullshit. You know, I engage in all kinds of stupid stuff throughout the day. So you know, jiu-jitsu kind of empties that out. I do my best thinking after training. That's when I feel like after the training's over, like I feel my best.
Yeah,
So
because you kind of let it all out, like physically, mentally, emotionally. You kind of let it all out on the mat, if you will, and then you know you can kind of release and be refreshed. So that's good.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, I just love your hustle. You're not just a coach and a teacher, but you're out here continuing to fight and train yourself. You're doing podcasts, you're selling merch, you're helping other gyms open. So what's in the future for you in expanding the brand?
Um, I think just we're gonna really hammer, like I want to get combat jiu-jitsu going in Pennsylvania. I want to just, you know, we're basically responsible for like this whole generation of martial artists, like the next generation of martial arts. You're gonna be seeing people I train in the UFC one day for sure. Maybe, I don't know, the UFC, that's kind of like a weird little, you know, game right now. I don't know how that's going, you know. So but it's just whatever opportunities as far as the best martial artists in the world, that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be involved in that kind of stuff, you know. As far as business wise, I just want to run my school where, you know, me and Zach make our money, we can feed our families and be all right, and the rest is just, you know, working on my people. I want to make Bethlehem better. Like when people talk about Pennsylvania, they don't even talk about the Valley. It's not even like a thing. It's like there's Philly and Pittsburgh, and then there's Amish people, you know. So I want to change that. And I think like over time, like it's already like Bethlehem's already like so much more people are coming here. So I don't know. I don't know. It's like it's just day at a time. I'm gonna keep training. I'm young. I'm 30 years old, so I feel like my body's still got a lot of juice left in the tank to just kind of keep going. And then when I'm older, hopefully, you know, I'll have students to kind of do all the heavy lifting, and I'll just kind of point and laugh at people, you know?
You're doing a great job putting Lehigh Valley on the map for sure, and I admire everything you're doing. So thank you, cousin, so much for taking the time to just enlighten and share your tidbits of knowledge with my students, with anyone who watches this. On behalf of Two Hearts Dance and Yoga, it is our pleasure to have you here, and thank you so much.
Yeah.
Can you tell us where to learn more about your school, learn more about what you're doing, any websites, social media?
If you're interested in like training at my school, the website's finishersmma.com. You can follow us on Instagram at 10th Planet Bethlehem, at Finishers MMA. You can look out for us on Grace Gundrum versus Danielle Kelly. That's a huge super fight out in Texas. That's on UFC Fight Pass. So if you have like Fight Pass, or you can steal it and watch us out there. I got to have my plugs better. But yeah, I think that's about it. You know, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at still JM Holland. And, you know, you can hit me up on there for anything pretty much. And I'll get back to you. But Leanne, I really appreciate you having me on and saying all those nice things, you know, like, we're going to be all right. You know, me and you, we got it. Okay.
We got to stick together, man. It's like, it's in our blood, both of us. Like, we're both so passionate about what we do, and we're both like trying to, you know, chip away at the game here and start our own kind of legacy. So I'm always so proud of you. And you know, if you ever need anything, I'm here. But yeah, and I know you'll kick somebody's ass for me if I ever need.
I got you. I got you. Who would want to do that? I got you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you have